Let me ask you something painful but honest. When was the last time a woman you really wanted actually chased you? Not just responded to your texts, not just agreed to go out with you, but actually pursued you, worried about losing you, invested in you. If that sounds like a fantasy, I need you to understand something critical right now. The reason it feels impossible isn't because of your looks, your bank account, or some unfair dating game. It's because you've been lied to about what actually makes a man valuable to women. Here's the brutal truth. 95% of men are completely invisible to the women they truly desire. Not because they're ugly, not because they're broke, but because they're missing 11 key traits that trigger a woman's primal attraction. And here's what's even crazier. Most of what you've been taught about getting the girl is actually working against you. Every time you try to impress her, you lose value. Every time you give her unearned attention, you train her to take you for granted. Every time you react to her moods, you hand her the power. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That's where real mastery begins. See, women don't choose men based on logic or fairness. They're biologically wired to screen for subconscious signals of value. And most men, they fail every single test without even realizing they're being tested. But today, we're flipping the script. Now here's where it gets interesting. Trait number 7 is the one that separates the men who get ghosted from the men who get obsessed over. It's counterintuitive, it goes against everything you've been told, but when you understand it, suddenly everything about female psychology makes sense. By the end of this, you'll see exactly why some men have women chasing them, while others for scraps of attention. This isn't about manipulation. This is about understanding the unspoken rules of the game you didn't even know you were playing. So if you're ready to stop being invisible, to stop wasting your energy on women who don't appreciate you, and to finally become the kind of man that high-quality women naturally gravitate toward, then let's begin. Here's the problem. Let me tell you about John. 6'2", sharp suit, made 6 figures as a corporate lawyer, the kind of guy who should have women lining up, right? But every time he met someone special, it ended the same way. Ghosted. Forgotten. Like all that effort meant nothing. Does this sound familiar? Here's what John was doing wrong and why you might be making the same mistakes. He'd text her good morning every day, plan expensive dates, remember her cat's birthday. He was the perfect gentleman, and completely invisible as a sexual prospect. Why? Because he confused being nice with being valuable. And women don't fall for nice, they fall for value. See, here's the uncomfortable truth. When you're always available, always agreeable, always putting her first, you're not being romantic. It's like you're living for her, like she's more important than everything else in your life. You may not know it, but that's what they see, and it reduces your value. You're teaching her she doesn't have to respect you. You're showing her you have no options. And nothing kills attraction faster than that. John's breaking point came when a woman he'd been dating for months told him, "You're such a great guy, but I just don't feel that spark." That's when he realized all that effort, all that money, all that emotional energy, it wasn't moving the needle. Because he was missing trait number 5, emotional discipline. Here's the hard reality. The dating world doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care how good of a guy you are. It only responds to one thing: perceived value. And right now, if women are treating you like an option instead of a priority, it's because you haven't shown them what makes you irreplaceable. But here's the good news. Value isn't just about money or looks. It's about mindset. It's about the way you carry yourself, the way you set boundaries, the way you respond or don't respond to her tests. And starting today, you're going to learn exactly how to project that value naturally without faking or pretending. Because here's what changed everything for John, and what will change everything for you. When he stopped chasing approval and started embodying these 11 traits, women who used to ignore him suddenly started chasing. Dates that used to flake started showing up early. And that spark that was always missing, it appeared on its own. The brutal part? Most men will never learn this. They'll keep doing the same things expecting different results. But you're different. That's why you're here. So let's break down exactly what separates the men who get taken for granted from the men who get chased. Trait number 1, unshakable frame control. Picture this. You're on a date with a beautiful woman. She leans in and says, you're kind of arrogant. Most men panic here. They backtrack. Oh no, I didn't mean to come across that way. And in that moment, they fail the test. Now here's what a high-value man does. He doesn't even flinch. He might smirk and say, yeah, and you love it, because he understands something fundamental. The person who controls the frame controls the attraction. Your reality isn't up for debate. Women don't follow men who seek their approval. They follow men who stand firm in who they are. Epictetus nailed this 2,000 years ago. It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. When a woman tests you, and she will, she's not looking for the right answer. She's checking. Does this man need my validation to feel secure? Your ability to stay unshakable is worth more than any pickup line. Practical exercise. Next time a woman challenges you, pause for 3 full seconds before responding. That space between stimulus and response, that's where your power lives. Trait number 2, purpose over pleasure. Here's a hard truth bomb. Nothing kills attraction faster than a man who drops everything for a woman. I had a client, successful entrepreneur, who canceled an important investor meeting because a girl he'd been dating for 2 weeks wanted brunch. Guess what happened? She lost respect and ghosted him within a month. Marcus Aurelius wrote Meditations while leading armies. He didn't pause his mission for temporary pleasure, and neither should you. Your purpose isn't just what you do, it's who you are. When a woman senses you'll compromise that for her attention, you become instantly disposable. Try this. Next time she asks to meet up, check your schedule first. Even if you're free, say, let me see if that works with my priorities. That simple act communicates more value than any grand gesture ever could. Trait number 3, emotional discipline. Let me show you how most men fail. She takes hours to reply, so he double texts. She mentions another guy, so he gets jealous. Every emotional reaction is another piece of power handed over. Here's what changed for one client. He started implementing the 24-hour rule. If she took 8 hours to reply, he took 24. Not as punishment, as training. Within weeks, her response time dropped to minutes. Why? Because women mirror the emotional standards you set. Stoic exercise. When you feel the urge to react, ask, would a man who has options do this? If the answer is no, don't do it. Trait number 4, outcome independence. Seneca said it perfectly. He who loves what he cannot control is enslaved. Most men are emotional slaves to women they barely know. They obsess over what she says, thinks, or texts. They rearrange their lives for someone who hasn't earned that privilege. The solution? Date multiple women until exclusivity is established. Not to play games, to maintain perspective. If you choose to date only one, then have a life or work or purpose or mission or something else that is very important in your life, if not more important than her. When you know you have options, you stop putting any one woman on a pedestal. And paradoxically, that's when they start chasing you. Because if you look up to her, she will look down on you. If you look down on her, then she will look up to you. Do you get it? Action step. This week, have conversations with 3 new women. Doesn't need to lead to dates. Just remind yourself, abundance is your natural state. This alone can make you understand that there's so many women like her out there that you can have, so you stop fearing to lose her. Trait number 5, high standards. Most men tolerate disrespect because they're afraid to be alone. Late to dates, flaky texts, it's okay, she's busy. No, it's not okay. Every time you accept breadcrumbs, you train her to treat you as an option and keep giving you breadcrumbs. Game-changing moment for one client. When a date showed up 45 minutes late, he didn't complain. He simply said, I don't think our time expectations align, paid for his drink, and left. Guess who got an apology text and a request for another chance? Your assignment. Write your 3 non-negotiables right now. Not physical traits, behavioral standards. Then enforce them without apology. Trait number 6, social proof. Here's a psychological truth that changed everything for my clients. Women don't evaluate you in isolation. They evaluate how other people value you first. That Harvard study wasn't kidding. Female attraction is literally contagious. I worked with a guy who couldn't get a second date to save his life. Then he started posting photos from his co-ed soccer team, just genuine laughs with male and female friends. Within weeks, women who'd ghosted him were sliding into his DMs. Why? Because other women's approval is the ultimate shortcut to attraction. Do you have awesome photos, videos, and memories of beautiful female friends? Post them. They secretly mean a lot to women. Action step tonight: audit your last 9 Instagram posts. Do they show you as a man with a social life? With options? If not, plan one group activity this week purely for the photos. Not to fake it, to showcase your real value. Trait number 7. The dark triangle. This is where most nice guys fail catastrophically. Women don't want predictable politeness, they crave playful danger. Not actual danger, but the thrill of a man who might just be out of her league. The 3 pillars: playful arrogance, you'd corrupt me, I'm intrigued; unpredictability, texting her at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday just to say, this song made me think of you; and mystery, when she asks about your exes, let's just say I have good taste. Look at this client's breakthrough moment. When he started leaving conversations first, I've got to run, this was fun, her pursuit intensity tripled. Remember, comfort breeds complacency. A little uncertainty breeds obsession. And you should really have something important to run to. Don't just lie about it. Trait number 8, leadership energy. Modern men ask, where do you want to eat? Stoic men say, we're trying the new Italian place, wear the red dress. One approach sparks indifference. The other sparks wet panties. I believe you can already imagine how and why this is going to work. So this should inspire you to do it. This is what all of those high-value men do. There's neuroscience behind this. When you make decisions confidently, it triggers her submission response. Not submission like slavery, submission like I can relax because this man has direction. Your assignment: next date, plan every detail. Not what movie should we see, but we're seeing the 7 p.m. showing, I'll pick you up at 6:30. Watch how she responds to being led. Trait number 9, mastery of humor. Most men either try too hard dad jokes or play too safe, boring interview mode. The sweet spot? Teasing that makes her say, I can't believe you just said that, while secretly loving it. Example, she takes forever to order. Careful, your indecisiveness is showing. She playfully hits you. Domestic violence already? Our first date hasn't even ended. Key distinction: your smile should arrive second, deadpan delivery first, then the smirk. That micro delay is where sexual tension lives. Trait number 10, physical presence. You don't need movie star looks, you need to own the space you occupy. Musonius Rufus trained in philosophy and hard labor because he knew a man's body broadcasts his discipline. Instant upgrades. 1. Shoulders back like you're balancing a crown. 2. Slow your blink rate. Predators stare, prey animals dart. 3. When sitting, man spread just enough to claim territory. Pro tip: record yourself walking into a room. Do you enter like a guest or like the host? Trait number 11, mastery of timing. The final secret: attraction operates on push-pull rhythms. Most men suffocate when she's hot, chase when she's cold. The exact opposite of what works. Golden rule: when she's pursuing, pull back slightly. When she withdraws, give one calibrated show of attention. This isn't manipulation, it's mirroring the natural dance of desire. Example, she sends a flirty text, wait 2 to 3 hours before responding. She cancels plans, no worries, radio silence for 48 hours. Watch how this resets the power dynamics every time. They may not sound like it, but this is what works. You probably have not been doing these. Try it and see how it works. Let's get brutally honest for a moment. Right now, there are 2 types of men in this world: those who beg for attention and those who receive it effortlessly. After today, you'll never wonder which category you fall into again. These 11 traits, they're not just theories. They're the difference between being the guy who checks his phone every 5 minutes hoping for a text, and being the man who has to turn off notifications because she won't stop messaging him. From unshakable frame control to mastery of timing, each one builds upon the last like layers of armor. Armor that protects you from games, from manipulation, from wasting your time with women who don't deserve you. But here's what I need you to understand. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here's your mission right now. Look at these 11 traits and pick just one to focus on this week. Not the easiest one, the one that would change everything if you mastered it. When you succeed at it, then try another, till you master all. Maybe it's developing that dark triangle edge. Maybe it's finally enforcing your high standards. Whatever it is, I want you to comment it below right now. Not later, right now. Because the moment you declare it publicly, you're 10 times more likely to follow through. And if you're ready for the next level, tomorrow's video will shock you. We're revealing 16 signs a woman wants physical intimacy immediately. The subtle signals most men miss completely. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because this is where your real transformation begins. One last thing before you go. The ancient Stoics didn't write philosophy just to be read. They wrote it to be lived. Your journey starts the moment you close this video. So what's your first move going to be?